Hello, my beautiful rainbow people. Welcome back to the Controversy of Zion, my program designed to create the controversy of Zion. Hi, my name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible and Book of Zion, which is the basis for my YouTube and social media channels, where I discuss the prophecy of the Old Testament and how it is playing out before our eyes. And today I want to talk about the Book of Zion itself, which is the prophecy of Israel. And by prophecy of Israel, I mean it is the actual events foretold by the prophets of Israel in the days of the Old Testament. And all of the prophecies that I deal with are Old Testament prophecies. It is not the book of Revelations or anything like that. It is Old Testament. The book of Zion comes from the scattered testimony of the various Old Testament prophets. And I wrote the book of Zion as the final event, or the final element that I was to create, to become Zion. Because the book of Zion tells the story of the prophet Zion, the female prophet Zion. Now, our male-dominated society has created several religions based on this very prophecy, the prophecy of the Old Testament. And they have all projected the appearance of a male prophet, the Messiah. And that has shrouded the prophecy in mystery. Because as long as you're looking for a male prophetic figure, you're never going to find the true prophetic figure because she is a female. And the Book of Zion is her life story. It is the life of who she is and how she becomes the prophet foretold, which is exactly who I am and what I'm doing. And the requirement, one of the requirements, and there were many, to be that prophetic figure was the publication of the Book of Zion, which tells her story. And I have published the Book of Zion, not in the traditional corporate way, but here on social media and YouTube, because it allows me to do it without the use of money. And the use of money is prohibited in the prophetic storyline. If at any point in my bid for Zion, I had allowed money to come into it, I would have lost. Which was one of the hardest things about the prophecy to make it happen, was to figure out how to create the entire set of prophetic events without using money in a society that everything is based entirely on money. And it was a Herculean task. And part of that task was, of course, the writing of the Book of Zion. Now, the Book of Zion is written entirely in Bible verse. Not a word of it is my own. It comes from this testimony of the Old Testament prophets, because this is not a Christian prophecy. It is the prophecy of Zion, the female, and it is not really an Israeli prophecy, although it does foretell events in Israel, and it projects a male Masonic figure for Israel. So that part they kind of got right, and the whole Jesus Christian thing was attached to that. So, but the main prophetic figure was the female, Zion. And in our society, that very notion was foreign. And it has underlined everything up to this modern point in our history. Men ignored the female element, and by doing so, allowed it to be fulfilled. Because here I am fulfilling it. I have already done everything that the prophet Zion is said to have done. And the final thing that she does before becoming the prophet is to publish peace, which is what I'm doing here. So I'm done up to the point of Zion. That's where we are in the prophecy. That's where all of my work has brought us. And it has brought us strictly right here. And it was done in the book of Zion foretells the events of the prophetic figure Zion. And I qualified for that, which is how I brought this all into being. I first found myself in the prophecy, chapter 54 of Isaiah. And once I figured out that that was potentially me, because believe me, I have never in my life thought of myself being so above board that I could qualify to be anything, let alone a prophetic figure. But once I realized that I was eligible to take on that role, well, I decided that was what I wanted to do. And I had inadvertently been working my whole life towards that goal. And the publication of the Book of Zion solidifies it all. It makes it real. It puts it in a finite form. The finite form it was always intended to be. Because once you look at the Book of Zion and you see how the passages connect and how they flow seamlessly, even though they're separated by personalities, Daniel, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Zephaniah, Zechariah, Amos, Hosea, all of them, Malachi, all of them, diverse prophets across centuries of time. And they each added a little bit and a piece there. But when they all came together, it created a book with 24 chapters, which foretells our modern age and which judges us according to our deeds in this age. And the most fantastic part of the prophecy is that it foretold these events by up to 4,000 years. And it still amazes me that my life could be told 4,000 years in advance. But that is what happened. But it's not so much that it was my particular life that was advanced. It was the events of my life that made me eligible to pick up the mantle and do the actual events that the prophet herself does. And that's what I've done. I have, by putting the prophecy together, I found the pre-told set of events that needed to occur in order for the prophecy to play out. And I said it. It took me 20 years to put in motion and to activate every element of that prophecy. And I did it through the Temple of Zion, which I established in 2007 and operated until 2014, when I was arrested, according to my clan, by the local authorities and charged with selling marijuana. Well, it was intent to sell marijuana, because I had to be arrested, go to jail, be charged with marijuana possession, go to court. I had to use the prophet Isaiah's testimony to establish myself as Zion. And then I had to serve out a prison sentence in order to qualify as the prophet Zion, or prophetess Zion. Then, and only then, was I required to publish peace without the use of money, because money was not allowed to be used in any part of the scenario. In fact, it was specifically exempt. I could not use money. So that is how social media and YouTube and Book of Zion, Pot Smoker's Bible webpage or video channel came into being. This is me publishing these without using money. The final thing that I am required to do to create the controversy of Zion and thus enact the prophecy in its final stage. Everything, prophetically speaking, that leads up to that moment has already occurred. And it has done so in such a way as to be awe-inspiring. Because the day that I enacted the prophecy, established myself as the prophet Zion in accordance with the prophetic text, was May 25th, 2015. It was on the anniversary of my establishing myself as Zion that our beloved martyr George Floyd lost his life for our great cause. And his life, the manner of his death, is also foretold. How dare you grind the faces of the poor, Isaiah says in the 3rd chapter. The very manner in which George Floyd died on the very day that was the anniversary of my establishing myself as the prophet. And, according to the prophetic text, one of the pre-told events, in fact, the very first pre-told event that would happen in society as a result of what I had done, would be the election of a base and amoral man into the highest office. And he, being base and immoral, would undermine the democracy, the government, bring out all of the base, immoral, hypocritical points that foretold in prophecy, such as the prophet Daniel's depictions of the modern police state. It describes in detail the policeman in his uniform, in array, against my people. Prophetic in every instance. And so we stand on the verge of Zion, the creation of the nation of Zion, the very event foretold that would change everything in our society. Create a new social order that is peaceful to its core, that embodies all races, religions, ethnic origins, sexual orientations, all of it foretold, all of it sanctioned by the true alien living entities called Grey, who are the gods of the earth. That's what the Book of Zion is, what it says. So may the Grey watch over us, guide us, protect us, and keep us all from harm. May they teach us right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. I already am. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it, and make that your guilt choice when we get to Camp Zion. And if you use drugs, stay happy and high. You have every right and reason to. Believe me, I know. I'm the Prophet Zion. It's my job to prove it to you. And because I am the Prophet Zion, I will never say goodbye. I will always say later.